house, then I was always sitting in the chair watching her. And one of the things that she made sure that I knew how to do was, I was born in Nanaimo, BC, and my dad was a commercial fisherman. And so the old way of doing smoked fish was that you would use cedar pieces, and you stretch out the salmon and you hang them in a smokehouse, and you keep the fire going for I don't know how many days, but a bunch of days. And whenever she was getting the salmon ready, then I was always sitting there watching. I never touched a knife, but I always watched, and when I picked up a knife, I knew how to do everything that she was teaching me to do. So she was always teaching if there was something new that I needed to learn. That experience was difficult because my mother had passed away, and the aunt that raised me didn't have any children. And so I had to go by whatever the doctors told me. And I had to use that method rather than having a mother to talk to me. Because I've been an orphan for a long time, so I didn't have a mother to go and ask the ins and outs that I really needed to know.
My mom's amazing. She had all 6 of us kids, and she was a hockey mom, I think she said, for 30 years or something like that. But she was a hockey mom, but she was also a stay-at-home mom for the most part. When I was 11, she went back to school and started with her bachelor's degree, and then moved on to a master's degree, and then a master's from Harvard, and then a doctorate from the University of British Columbia. So my mom has her doctorate in education, but my mom has always been an inspiration to me, just because of the way that she was able to balance raising us, loving us, supporting us, and being a supportive spouse, and being able to go back and be a full-time student, and go through years of school and challenges to get to where she finished. So
I mean, that's incredible in itself, that journey and kind of how it kind of played out. So what are the specific things, the way that she lived, what did that instill in you as a mother today?
I always look at the things, now that I'm a mom myself, I look at the things that my mom did for us, and there's a lot of the similar things that she did for us that I do for my kids. My mom didn't sugarcoat things a lot, so I don't really sugarcoat them for my kids, but my mom was always really loving and really supportive, and today she's one of my best friends. We're able to talk about the way that she parented us, but then I'm able to talk to her about the things that I'm maybe doing a little bit different with my kids, and she just kind of looks at me and she's like, wow, you're learning a lot of new things, and but being able to share that knowledge and have her feedback and just have that relationship with her is amazing for me. My oldest daughter, Samantha, was 14 weeks premature. So she was 2 pounds, 3 ounces when she was born, and she spent 3 months in the hospital. And shortly before she came home from the hospital, I found out I was pregnant with Sophie. So it was the first year was pretty challenging. When Samantha was about 6 months old, she went in for open heart surgery. And then she was at home recovering, and that was about the time that Mother's Day came around. And just having been through 90 days in the hospital with Samantha as a preemie, another 8 days at the stollery after her surgery, and then looking after her and being pregnant myself, my brother kind of looked at me and My brother's not he's very stoic, so he's not the most overtly emotional guy. But he came and saw me on Mother's Day, and he looked at me and he said, you've had a hell of an introduction to motherhood. And if anybody deserves it today, it's you. So happy Mother's Day. But being a mom has been one of the most challenging but rewarding experiences I think I've had. Samantha is very compassionate. She's got a really big heart. And Sophie is a really strong personality. But they both have their own gifts and they both have their own struggles. But it's an amazing journey to be able to be a mom to them and then as well be a stepmom to 3 other kids. So life is busy. Thank you. Thank you for being the mom that was there, and I think in 30 years left us twice overnight. Thank you for showing me what it is to be a mom, what it is to be a good partner. Thank you for being a friend, and just thank you for the gift of life that you've given me.
Okay, ladies, can you tell me how old your mummy is?
43.
And what is something your mummy always says to you?
I love you. Beautiful. Gorgeous.
So what is your mummy's favorite thing to do?
Watch hockey.
What does your mummy do for a job?
Working on her computer and making money.
What is your biggest, most craziest, loveliest wish for your mummy?
Have infinity dollars.
What makes your mummy the most beautifulest woman in the world?
Clothes. Makeup.
So what is one thing you say to your mommy when nobody else is around?
I love you. You're my favorite mommy.